overcome, heal, and recover. Pornography and its accompanying behaviors become very addictive in nature. And many of you know this through your own experience. Just a footnote on this. Many times individuals feel that those that are engaged in addictive behaviors of this nature are just bad guys or bad women. They've made bad choices because there's a flaw in their personality. Somehow they have not been able to exercise discipline in their life because they really are flawed individuals. This is really not very much the case with the individuals that we work with. And it is another one of those misguided myths that we hear about. There are many wonderful good men and women who have found themselves trapped in the clutches of this addiction. We have an acronym called BLAST that we use quite a lot. It stands for bored, lonely, angry, stressed, and tired. Many who have found themselves in the clutches of addiction with, say, drug abuse or alcohol, many times revert to those behaviors because they are trying to cope with life and manage life in a way that is going to give them some power to deal with the stressors of life. It stands for bored, lonely, angry, stressed, and tired, again. As a young man who is dealing with perhaps a lot of stress in his life, feeling isolated, lonely, not having many friends, feeling the pressures of school, it's very easy for that young man to start to experiment with behavior that is going to help to create some kind of an escape for him, a way of being able to self-medicate, somehow get away from the problem and difficulties that he's dealing with in his life. And so rather than maybe reverting to alcohol or to marijuana or other drugs, a young man, through his exposure to pornography, its associated behaviors, such as then lust, fantasy, masturbation, those activities then become his drug of choice, because it also is activating those neurotransmitters in his brain that are very much activated also by the drugs that we talk about, marijuana, alcohol, cocaine, heroin. Those neurotransmitters in the brain that are activated, the natural dopamines, the endorphins, the adrenaline, and it provides that brief, for a moment, escape to another world where he doesn't have to cope and deal with those difficulties in his life. And so it becomes an addictive pattern because it works. It's something that doesn't let him down. Every time he goes to that behavior, it helps him to escape. And this is a good young man. Many are raised in wonderful, good religious families. They know better, but they've not found